All right. I think we're live.
Oh,
Yay.
hey everyone.
Hi. Welcome to today's virtual write-in. It's the first one of Camp Nano, like actually during Camp NaNoWriMo this year. So that's exciting. If y'all don't know me, I am Catherine. I am the communications director at NaNoWriMo. My pronouns are she, her, or they, them.
And I'm Josie. I'm the programs associate at Nano, and my pronouns are she, they. Um,
Yay.
Hello everyone. As we said, camp just started, so if y'all want to like drop um your word count or like how you're doing so far, it's only been a few days. I'm not expecting anything crazy.
I don't know. Some people are like, oh yeah, I've written 50,000 words in a day. I can't.
Every time I see that, I'm like, where? How did you do that?
Like, how is that physically possible? Just writing in the chat, seeing how people are doing there.
Love seeing where everyone's from and seeing some people who like just joined for the first time, which is great.
Yay!
Oh well, there's our word counts. Oh, y'all are writing. Oh, oh no. Well, it's an oh yay for y'all. It's an oh no for me because I haven't been writing that.
That's great. I love seeing what people's goals are for the month too, because everybody is kind of working towards the same one in November, but during Camp NaNoWriMo, you can set your own goal and work on your own kind of project. So I'm always curious to see what people use that sort of like flexibility for, and what they're aiming for. I feel like I usually try to go for about 20,000 words because I'm like, okay, that's not quite as rigorous as 50,000 in November, but still, um, still a good chunk. So
Yeah, mine's also at like 20,000 because I'm like, okay, I'm not doing anything crazy. But my current word count is like 600. So everyone who's like above 600, you're doing better than me.
that's awesome. Yeah, it's I always find it can either be really really good or really bad for me when a NaNoWriMo event starts on the weekend, because either I'm like, ah yes, I have time, or I'm like, oh no, I have all these other things that I need to do. um I saw somebody, chat's kind of scrolling fast, but I saw somebody was asking about the camp counselors. So we do have a couple of authors that we're going to be working with this month. Um, we don't have one this week, but next week, Mel Walker, who is a male romance writer. He's, I think in his bio, he says that rare bird, but he'll be around next week, providing writing advice. We send it out through the Nano messaging, the like mail system on the NaNoWriMo website, and we post it on our blog and share it on social media. So we'll be having a couple of those camp counselors, those published authors, sharing their advice throughout this month. And yeah. I'm gonna put a link in the chat to some of the upcoming events that we have going on, in case you want to participate in some of the other stuff that we've got, and if you want to see more live streams, more virtual write-ins, we've got more of those coming up as well. So you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you should get notifications when we have new events and going live.
I actually have another webcast this Thursday with Dictionary.
Oh yeah.
And it's about editing novel.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. It's kind of a part two. We had a webcast last week with Save the Cat, and this is with Fictionary, so kind of using the Save the Cat structure to go into some nitty gritty about editing, if any of you are working on editing projects. Um, Oh, and I'm also going to drop a link into the chat for our sponsor offers. We have some sponsors for camp. These are companies that have things like writing software or, you know, editing services or like other writing communities. So um, they help support NaNoWriMo, and they also offer like details. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my words. Discounts specifically for NaNoWriMo writers. So if you're interested in any of those, I would recommend checking out that page as well. All right.
I think that's enough talking. We
Yeah.
should get writing.
Yeah.
I did see someone say, oh, it's David who said, my goal is just to write this month. And that's a good goal. So we're gonna do some writing right now.
Yay. Cool. Oh, we were experimenting last week with some Zoom apps. So usually we just like set a timer on our phones, but I'm gonna try experimenting and see if we can set a timer that everybody can see. So I'm gonna try to set that up, Josie, if you wanna share the first prompt.
Okay, so our first prompt, you can use any or all of the words in a scene, a story idea, or character description. And those words are sneeze, harmony, kinship, jolly, and pony. If you're like, what in the world are these words? They totally have a theme. You'll see later. And don't worry if you have like no idea what I just wrote or said, because we'll drop the prompt in the chat and also be in the description later if you're like, I want to use that prompt later.
Yeah. Also, we experimented with this last week, and now Zoom is telling me that I need to sign in to do the timer. So I don't know if I'm going to make it work, but we'll figure it out. All right. Okay, I'll just do it on my phone for this one, and then I'll type around and see if I can figure it out. 5 minutes for this one.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
All
Just
right.
a little warm up. And if the words like you do not want to use them, that's fine too. Just write whatever gives you joy.
Great. All right. So prompt number 1, 5 minutes, and let's start writing now. All right, time is up for that sprint. So if you want to go ahead and wrap up what you're writing, feel free to put in the chat if how many words you got during that sprint, or which words you used. If you want to share a sentence that you wrote, or anything like that. I've I saw that there is some conversation in the chat about imposter syndrome in writing, which I think is a really interesting question, and one that a lot of us face, of like, you know, worrying that what we're writing isn't good enough, or isn't original enough, or anything like that. So um, I'm curious if folks uh, have thoughts on that, or I don't know, tactics that they use to overcome that.
Oh, seeing the word counts, y'all are doing pretty good. I don't know if this is like a response to that advice, but Laura said get off Facebook while writing. Honestly, yeah, don't look at
I identify with 6 words, a struggle. Me too.
I'm pretty sure I wrote like 8, so you know that's fine.
And King Starfish, though, got 326. Low Key got 168. Des got 109 words and used the word sneeze.
I love people like telling us like what content they're writing. Like Anne Scott says, I did not use any of the words, but also they didn't fit into a scene involving a ship passing through the surface of a planet.
Cool.
And Lewis Bushman says, didn't get too far. I have an MC whose father is an anaconda, and you start starting to realize that's not normal. You wrote about a man who was half pony, but that's not the same thing.
Oh man, I am so intrigued. I love hearing all these. I don't know. Every time I hear these like little snippets of the story, I don't know. But I think that kind of ties into the imposter question syndrome for me, because I'm like, man, I would never think of that. Like, you know. And I also tend to think that, like, even, you know, some of the best and my favorite stories are not necessarily like the most original stories ever, like have the best plot twists, or whatever, like, but sometimes it's just like, it's the way that the author wrote it was like the only way that that person could have written it, you know. And I think everybody has that kind of writing voice of like, there are things that cadences that you use, or phrases that you use, that like you are the only person who could put those words together in exactly that way. So
Yeah, it kind of ties to, I see some talk about like Kendra asks, do you ever find it hard not to repeat yourself in your writing? And like yeah, but like honestly, I've just embraced that as like that's part of my writing style. Like you think about like art styles, or like how like certain directors have like a certain style when they shoot like films. That's just part of your writing style, and I think it's fine if you like sound repetitive or something, because that's all you. That's just something you made up, and that's part of how you write, and I think that's fine.
yeah, it's great. And like, you know, again, a lot of authors will come back to the same themes or imagery, or like retelling the same fairy tale or something like that, you know. And it's great. I do find this sometimes when I'm editing. I'll if I'm editing a passage, I'll be like, oh, I think this should be phrased this way, and then I'll just read to the next sentence. I'm like, oh, I did phrase it that way in the next sentence. It's like my brain is working on the same pathways.
And
Also,
yeah, CB394 says don't fixate on those like repetitions until you finish your project. Just right. Editing comes later. And that's
great
always good.
advice. I like that a lot of people were using the word sneeze. That and because my allergies have been acting up lately. So that's where my inspiration comes from. Also, my housemate's dog is hanging out with us today. That's Luna right there. Just you know, in case you need some pet inspiration today.
Oh, speaking of inspiration, I did have a question for y'all.
Yep.
Okay, so I was thinking like my theme for this would be friendship. Don't ask me how the words
Yes.
from last time relate to friendship, but they totally did in my head. Anyway, I was wondering if y'all base characters on people you know in real life, whether that's friends or family or teachers or whatever. And if so, to what extent? If not, where do you get character inspiration from? Like, is it from other work? Do you just like come up with them out thin air, which is like really impressive to me. I don't think I could do that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think about where I get my character inspiration from. I think I definitely take pieces from people that I know in real life, like a conversation or a characteristic. I try not to whole cloth just like copy and paste because that could get me in trouble. But but definitely sometimes I'll have a conversation with somebody. I'm like, ooh, I need to write that down because that was just too good.
I know for me, it's like I either like base characters on like maybe like stuff I like seeing in fiction, but if they're based on like real life, I don't take like everything from them because as you said, like it'd suck if like I killed off this character and if someone like recognized I was them. That's not my fault. I'm not even but like I like taking like little traits, like really distinct traits, especially from my friends. Like I have one friend who like really loves pufferfish, and I'm like, okay, I think that's like a great character trait for like a character, just like loving pufferfish and being able to like recite facts about them on prompt. I'm gonna give that to a character because it's fun.
That's so good. I love that.
What's going on in the chat?
Yeah, a lot of people. I love seeing where people are getting their inspiration based off of. Laura says, I'm basing my romance novel on my heritage and ancestors from the
Ooh.
1600s. That's cool.
I like what Shield of Apollo said. Odo is very much like myself, but lost my impulse control from 10 to like a 3.
Yeah, I see people saying that they've based their characters on their mom or their husband, or sometimes gender swapping people. That's fun.
I see like combination of people. That's fun. I think it's an easy way to get fun characters.
And then some people just saying that the characters just pop into their heads, which is cool. I love that. I also love people who are like taking stuff from their own lives and setting it in a completely different setting, like based on my past, but with fantasy and horror, or somebody else was saying that they were basing it off of how they met their boyfriend, but in a science fiction setting. So like that's
Oh,
really cool.
that's cute. It's also interesting seeing people like saying they base characters on themselves because I know for me, I don't think I ever go in with like, oh, this character is me. But like while writing them, they just end up having my traits. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Cause like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to write a character that I relate to. And then I'm like, oh, this is just me though. Whoops. Kendra asked, do you ever love a character a bit too much? Yes, definitely.
We all have one, I think, or
Mm-hmm.
multiple.
And Storyfile says, all my characters have a little bit of me, personality, interests, appearance, etc. I was working on a story for a while where there were 12 main characters, like point of view characters. And I was having to really intentionally be like, okay, what, because, you know, they were different people and different identities and different walks of life. And I was like, okay, I need to find something in each of these characters that I can connect to and relate to. So that was a really interesting experiment for me of like, what parts can I intentionally pull for myself and like divide out between all these different characters. Yeah, Storyfile says, I try to split myself up so there's not just a me in the book.
Yeah.
I remember I saw Tamara Pierce speak one time. She wrote the Alana books and the Wild Magic books and all that. But I think somebody asked her this question, and it stuck in my mind because she said she based one of her characters off of a pro wrestler, which is something I've never really thought to like base a character off a celebrity before. And I thought that was really neat.
Ooh, I like Riley saying, all of my characters have a piece of myself, however small. One of the most meaningful parts of writing horror for me is writing about the sides of myself I'm afraid of.
Ooh, oh, that's good.
That's cool. Anyway, I love hearing about y'all's relationships and stuff. So let's talk about our writers, or not writers, our characters' relationships.
Yes.
Let me see if I can get the timer to work.
Yep.
Y'all get to experience us trying to figure out technology. Isn't that great?
In real time. We provide the entertainment.
What? Let's see. Is this doing anything? Oh, oh well, it's mirrored.
Hey. No, it looks right on my end.
Oh, okay. So yeah, like I said it.
Okay, great. Yay, we made it work. All right. So for our second prompt, let's probably do about 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Um, so the prompt for this one is your character meets their best friend for the first time. So how do they meet and how do they get along? Which I think is a great question because like sometimes you don't always get along with the people that ultimately end up becoming your best friend the first time you meet them.
And of course, if you don't want to use that prompt, or maybe like insert some other characters, that's fine too. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Anyway, 10 minutes. Let's go. Yay.
Yay.
Welcome back, guys.
Hey. All right. So time is up for that prompt. Feel free to share what your word count was for that 10 minutes, or if you want to share a sentence or what you wrote about. Yeah, feel free to put that in the chat. I had to kick the dog out because she was getting a little rambunctious. I like this alternative prompt that Andrew shared that said writing prompt, your crush on a stranger actually works out.
That's fun.
Oh, last week we were talking about dreams and getting inspiration from dreams. So Shield of Apollo says, Adam, my immortal character, is based off of a dream I had where I was immortal and had the time where I had a great memory, and then I would blink and would speak to my friends' grandchildren.
Ooh.
So that's cool.
I see a lot of people wrote flashbacks, which yeah, I guess that prompt does work really well for flashbacks. I also wrote a flashback. Well, I don't think I'll put it in, but that's what I was working on. It's actually kind of hard for me because it would like they would be childhood friends, and like I was like, oh no, I have to get in the mindset of like a 5-year-old.
Yeah, it was helpful for me because I realized I didn't actually know how my two main characters met. Like I know, they'd gone to school together for a while, but then I decided like, oh, they both had like a really awful like history class together or something. Like the teacher was really boring, and so that's when they became friends, like, passing notes back and forth.
Nothing like a horrible class to make you bond.
Oh yeah. Ooh, Zoe wrote a newspaper article that presents to its reader how the queen of the country showed through her power that she was no imposter.
That's cool.
Always. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, I just like the idea of having like a newspaper, like in your story, like an article, because that's like a different format, but it says a lot.
Yeah, I love it when books do that. It's like newspapers or like found or like letters or like found pieces of writing. Yeah, I don't know. I love it when books do that. I think this question from David. Do you guys feel like life is much more beautiful when you write? Do you? Or like you're paying more attention to be able to see the good and beautiful and interesting moments?
Yeah, I feel like I appreciate like the little things more because that's what makes writing, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Observation.
Yeah, all those little details and moments. But it's good to have that reminder. Kate wrote 191 words. Quinn got 290. A lot of people wrote 191 words. Kate, Abby, and Riley all in a row.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah,
Actually,
must have been like on the same page, on the same wavelength.
I also like hearing how some of y'all are just working on existing projects. Um, like Zoe says, um, their country set in a fantasy world. I'm creating my debut novel, which is high fantasy. So they're already 80K in. I'm like, whoa.
Wow, that's really cool. since our theme is friendship today. I also had a question for you all. I've used this as an icebreaker question before, which is kind of fun. But if you could be friends with any character from any book, who would you choose and why?
Ooh, I like that.
I mean, I know it's broad, but I one of the answers that I gave to this was Lyra from the Golden Compass books.
Aww.
I feel like she's really resourceful and she's got the golden compass. Like she can lead you to where you want to go.
Oh, I see some people, Scott and Storyfield, say Percy Jackson. That would be fun.
Nice. Oh, and Rabbit Reader says Annabeth Chase. So there we go.
Oh, we have lots of Percys. Okay.
Okay. Oh, Maginot says Mrs. Whatsit from A Wrinkle in Time. Oh, Mallory from the Babysitters Club.
Oh, that's cute.
Nice.
I love Babysitters Club.
I was more of a Sweet Valley Twins person. Stone and Alex Fiera from the Magnus Chase series. Oliver Twist, Huckleberry Finn. Arthur Dent. Shashi Miyamoto to get samurai wisdom firsthand.
That's funny. Chris says an unnamed Hobbit character, not one that went on adventures, but one that was happy to hang out in a hole and eat a lot. We get a lot. Okay, yes. I like that.
Excellent.
Just a random Hobbit, not even one of the named characters.
Danny Phantom, nice. Oh, America Singer from The Selection. I know.
These are all good.
I know. Maybe I'd want to be friends with somebody who had magical powers that could then also grant me magical powers. So like I'm thinking of like Merlin from Sword in the Stone, because like he's turning you into animals. So like that would be cool.
Yeah.
These are all great though. All right. Well, we can take our fictional best friends with us on her next writing sprint. I think my segues are getting worse. That's all right. That's what revision's for.
Okay.
Yeah, should we do the last sprint?
Yeah, so this one is kind of like, I wouldn't say like the opposite of the last one, but kind of. So your character and their enemy or rival or antagonist or whatever are forced to hang out with each other. What activity do they do? Do they have shared interests or hobbies they can bond over? Do they become friends, or does it just turn into another fight? If it's good to inspiration, I was thinking of like the protag and like the enemy just like run into each other like at a convention, and they're like, "Oh no, you're doing the same thing I like." That was my inspiration.
Oh, that's great. I love that. I feel like it's very the Simon Snow books by Rainbow Rowell. Like that's very much kind of how that went. Like they were roommates, you know. Cool.
And of course, if you don't want to do that, just keep writing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put 10 minutes on.
Yeah.
And yay, okay. Have fun, guys.
Yeah.
And welcome back, everyone. Oh, I saw that. Okay.
All right. Yay. So yeah, go ahead and feel free to hear the dog. Now she's whining outside because I kicked her out. But feel free to put your word count for that prompt in the chat, or if you want to do your total word count for the hour, you can put that in there too, or share a sentence that you wrote. Yeah, whatever you want to share. How'd that go for you, Josie?
I think that went okay. I didn't actually use that prompt. I was like considering the one from the last one, but I do want to come back to that prompt because I think it's funny.
Yeah, it was I wasn't doing a lot of writing, but I was doing a lot of like, oh, this is sparking like I was taking notes about things in my story that I wanted to work on. So
I see Shadow Slayer saying they didn't get writing done, but it just wasn't on their story. That's okay too. Writing's writing.
mm-hmm. Ellen said didn't use the prompt, but got 238 words. Nice. TV reads got 230. I got 225 for the hour. Wait, is this right? Iogen, I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but 4,575 for the hour.
Congrats if that's right.
Incredible.
See a lot of people in the 200s. Good job, guys.
That's great. Oh, Grace Pallison wrote a 500-word short story.
Full
Nice.
story. That's nice.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today and writing with us and getting some more work done on your camp writing projects. If you haven't started your official camp project yet, you should make sure that you create that project on the NaNoWriMo website, so that you can track your progress and get all the official winter goodies if you meet your goal and all that good stuff. So if you're working on a project that you've already started, you can add a new goal to your project to be like, okay, this is how much I want to get done on this during camp. So, yeah, and update your word count if you do have a project there, so you can make sure you keep track of that.
Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. As I said earlier, there's a webcast this Thursday about editing. And we have a bunch of, you can get notifications for all the webcasts or more virtual writings, whatever else we do throughout the month. We do a lot of things.
We do a lot of things. Cool. And yeah, we'll be back here again next week, same time. We also have some other YouTube, we call them YouTube guides, but other folks on YouTube who will be making some videos for us and leading some more write-ins as well. So got plenty of stuff coming up. But yeah, thanks again, and good luck on your projects, and keep going toward those goals. And yeah, we'll see you next time.